Books on vinyl. Since my wife and I live in two places, I rarely have access to my vinyl collection at the moment. Last weekend, however, I had the opportunity to listen through some records. This time old Swedish albums from the 70s and 80s. One of the albums I found in my collection was The Ship of Dreams, Bo Setterlind's poems interpreted by Stoffens Percy. A very nice meeting between music and lyrics. There are more fine examples of when literature and music have come together. There are books about record albums and there are record albums which have been based on books. Lindelow's book publisher has, for example, published a number of very nice books in a series they call 33 1/3, i.e. the number of revolutions on a regular LP. One of these books is about David Bowie's strange Berlin album Low, another about Patti Smith's classic punk debut Horses, and a third about Neil Young's acclaimed country record Harvest. For a music geek like me, it's magnificent to delve into the making of an album like this. And conversely, there are, as I said, music albums which took a novel as a starting point. A classic example is Swedish organist Bo Hansson's instrumental interpretation of The Lord of the Rings from 1970. A magical album. Recently I found the Kafka band from the Czech Republic who only seem to make concept albums interpreting Franz Kafka's novels. Previously, they have released the albums Castle, Das Schloss, and America, and in 2023 the album The Process, Order Process, was also released. One of the best musical interpretations ever made of a novel is, in my opinion, Jeff Wayne's fantastic version of War of the Worlds by author H.G. Wells, a double album that came out in 1978. It's a record like no other. A kind of concept album with long instrumental parts, but also vocal parts with artists like Phil Lynott and David Essex. Throughout the album we also hear the actor Richard Burton in the role of the journalist, whose deep voice moves the story forward in spoken elements. The result was, in my opinion, strangely better than the book, which is a feat. Once I read the book, I was almost disappointed, but what I realized most was that Jeff Wayne's music and Burton's voice played in the back of my head throughout the novel. I like when works of art are allowed to cross between mediums and when music and literature are allowed to wander across genre boundaries. I want more books on vinyl. Mattias is an author, editor, and illustrator. We hope you liked this episode. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe.